welcome to everyone who is joining us live today. We are super excited to be here. My name is Lisa Olson, and I have the pleasure of serving you as the board president for the Santa Cruz Children's Museum of Discovery, located here in Capitola, California. The purpose of today's Live-a-Thon, as we're referring to it here, is to really acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the folks who made this museum possible, as well as generate, hopefully, some funds to keep the improvement of the exhibits ongoing. For many of you, this is a place that you bring your children and your extended family to come because it provides a very safe place for you to play and explore and learn. We were established here at the MOD in 2014 in collaboration with several volunteers and, more importantly, with the Keats family, who made it possible for us to be here. More recently, we've had the privilege of bringing on board an interim executive director, Rhiannon Crane, who you'll have the privilege of meeting now, because here she is. With the addition of Rhiannon, we've had an exceptional upgrade to our programs, to just the daily attendance, and really just thinking outside of the box on how we bring to you an experience that's really going to drive home and bring joy to your children. And so the goal for today is to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what we do here at the MOD, but also, more importantly, to introduce you to all of the board of directors who make it possible for everyone here in our community to enjoy the Museum of Discovery. But before we do that, and Rhiannon is going to lead the way, I do want to acknowledge this beautiful wall that you probably see when you walk into the museum every day. And by the way, for those of you who haven't had the privilege of visiting us but are joining us tonight because you are so dedicated to the hard work and commitment that your family or friends who sit on the board make day in and day out. We are located in the Capitola Mall, and we do want to make an acknowledgement to the city of Capitola for all their commitment and dedication in making that possible, as well as the mall administration and operations team here. But this beautiful mural that you see here was created by a local member by the name of Jen Maha, and really what you see here are individuals and families, and you'll actually also see some local and corporations who have made it possible for us to really be in existence. And so if you want to see your name up here, it's totally possible. Visit us on our website, ask for additional information when you come in next time with your family and friends, or reach out to any of us. The link is on our website, along with a bio and a picture of each and every one of us. We're super excited again to serve you. Our purpose here and our sole mission is to provide a safe, exciting environment for you and your children. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Rhiannon, who's going to introduce the rest of the board.
Yeah, let me take you into the program room where we happen to hold most of our meetings with our lovely board president. She goes above and beyond for this museum every week. So follow me, let's go meet the rest of the board. Hi guys! Hi. Thanks for coming in on Tuesday night. I know you are used to devoting at least one Tuesday evening a month to the MOD. The administrative board at MOD is very devoted. We're a working board, so these folks are helping us to ensure the fiscal responsibility of our organization as a nonprofit. We work with a team of experts, a variety of experts, both content, accounting experts, local business people, to ensure that this museum is meeting the objectives of a nonprofit organization, working towards its mission with all of our programming. They're my boss, and I'd love to introduce you to each of them. We've got Jim Phillips here, and he is a visionary and philosopher. He's sold a bunch of tech companies in the community, and now he helps build our exhibits. Place couldn't run without him. He's been around since the beginning. He's amazing. We've got Margaret Carino Condon, and she's with Saludi Carino, a nonprofit group in the community. She's one of our newest board members, so we're really excited to welcome her. She's jumping in head first, along with Derek Jones. He is a professor, or at least a PhD. He teaches many courses in sociology and education. He's one of those people who keeps us honest in terms of how we're approaching the exhibit development, the way that we think about interactions between people in the museum. Next to him, we've got Mary Beth. She's working with us as a science expert. She brings a keen organizational eye to the place. She's working behind the scenes most of the night as our camera person. That's how organized she is. We've got Jason Horner here. He works with Granite Construction. He's a local community member with 2 young children, and it's been great to welcome him on board. Super activist and great at what he does. Next to him, we've got Seth Rader. He is a pediatric dentist who runs Capitola Kids Dentistry. He's one of the most popular dentists in the community for working with children. Go to him if you're worried about your kid's teeth, or even if you're not and you want to keep it that way. Rose Martin is our infant, childhood, and toddler specialist. She's been working with us as a part of a Packard Foundation grant. Big shout out to Packard. They've been supporters of MODS.
Thank you!
Packard, we'll show you some of the great work tonight that they've helped us construct in this museum. They've been great funders and great advocates, wonderful sources of information about how we can build this museum to serve the youngest members of our community. Here's Sue Cresswell. She has stuck with the MODS since the beginning. She is a retired teacher. She used to teach at Linscott. I was going to go with a different school, so I'm glad I checked with you. But she's responsible for crafting an educational vision for the museum. She does a ton of work building exhibits, motivating our employees to talk about the exhibits in a really concrete and spirited way that attracts kids and gets them engaging imaginatively with nature. So the board is amazing. You've already met Lisa. We're going to take it on. Wait a minute. We're missing a board member, aren't we?
We are.
Where's Vicky, you guys?
Let's go find Vicky.
I bet she's in her favorite exhibit. Come on, the camping room.
I think she's by the lake.
Let's go find her. Margaret, do you know where Vicky is?
I think I do, and I think she's having a really great time.
Oh,
At her favorite exhibit? Yeah. All right.
Where can she be?
Oh, I see her. I think.
There's a list of birds here that we have in our county, and they're up there. I'm spotting them right now. There's the woodpecker. Do you hear it? There it is. Oh my gosh. And I bet if I work really hard, I can find the stellar jay. Is it? It's right over there. Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be able to show you my favorite exhibit. I have been camping since I can remember. And with this exhibit, it is the ultimate place for exploring, and play, and imagination. We can do all kinds of things. And I think what I love about this more than anything is the connection that children can have with their natural environment. We're in 4 walls, or many walls, here at the museum, but ultimately, we can talk with children about their natural environment, and there's so many things. Many kids will recognize a tent. They can cuddle up in here, snuggle up by themselves, or with their friends, or with their adult, and look at some books. We have lots of books in the corner that talk about the natural environment. It's also a great place to, as children are playing, to extend conversation. to start asking open-ended questions. For instance, over here, we have a whole ring here of many questions you could ask. This says, what forest animal likes to handle its food? And I'm going to go over there. Normally, when there's kids here, these are not nice and neat on their pegs. They're usually in their little forest glen area, and you have to find them. And I'm going to guess it's Mr. Raccoon who likes to handle his food. So it's a great way to, in case you're wondering about some questions you can ask, there's a whole book here of questions. Also, one of my favorite things to do when I'm camping is to cook. Because somehow food is so much better when you're camping. And so here we have our little pot on our Coleman stove, our Melissa and Doug stove. But I actually love to cook on the open flame. So I'm going to go over here where we have our fire and our chairs. Let's see if I can get my little friend over here. I'm going to stir and stir. Where did my plates go? Hang on one sec. Stay tuned. Stir and stir and stir. Oh, delicious stew. Rinse them out. Want some? Yum. I've heard a lot of fun stories about this area. We happen to be right next door to a pizza parlor right here. It was a sponsorship by Pizza My Heart, and the kids just love this area. And it's pretty hilarious when kids are in here and I'll be talking to them about cooking and stuff. They look at me like, can't we just go next door and order a pizza for delivery? Love that, their imagination. And actually, it could be kind of fun when you actually are camping. So I think the next thing I'm going to do right now is get my pack. It's pretty bright out here. I'm going to put on my glasses. And we're going to go for a hike to the pond because I could use some cooling off at the pond. Look, we have some logs we can jump on. And here we are. We're at the lake. Or maybe it's the ocean, I'm not sure. If I wade through right here to the boat, this is looking a lot like ocean animals to me. See? Not in the lake. So ultimately, our camping area is sky's the limit, literally. You can go star watching. We have little star charts around. This is a really great area. You can count things, you can talk about animals, all kinds of supports for child development are in the camping area, which is why it's my favorite. Thanks for tuning in.
I got caught. Well, you see, I was setting up for the finger painting class tomorrow, and I just couldn't resist. I had to try it out, make sure it was still good. So I'm playing with some blue. It feels so good. It's cool and squishy, and I wonder what's going to happen when I put the red with it. Oh, is it going to make my favorite color? Oh boy. The swirls feel so good. Oh, there's a great purple coming together. Oh my gosh, kids are going to love this. Oh, maybe I could print. There's empty paper. Oh! Oh, great fun. Butterfly. There's another butterfly. I could do this all night. There's no expectations. It's just fun. And I discovered so many things. I found some beautiful colors, and I bet I could have even more fun with the yellow. But I'm kind of all out of room. And I wanted to tell you folks that finger painting is a really great example of an open-ended process art type experience. It's just a lot of fun. and you end up with, well, the messes. And the messes are what often we hear people say at the schools and at the houses, that people don't really have time for all the messes. So that's what the mod program room is all about. We get to be creative and fun. We have classes here every day, a couple each day usually, and they're kind of for all ages, more or less. The classes are kind of semi-structured with lots of opportunities for creativity and skill building. The staff usually leads the classes. They're usually themed and include many aspects of the STEM or the STEAM curriculum. And of course, we hope everyone ends their time in here with more of a feeling of lifelong love of learning and that they want to come back for more. So we have, our staff spends a lot of time preparing for classes, and they think of all kinds. Well, like here's a kind of a science experiment with water dropping on a paper with something added to it, I can tell. And, one of the very favorite things is our homemade Play-Doh that all ages, we even get the teenagers in here sometimes playing with the Play-Doh. Over here we try to put up a little bit of the work to kind of showcase what we've been doing. And it's like Doris has a collage with pre-cut shapes, and she talked about the theme, showed pictures of homes and communities. This is kind of a leftover of a habitat class. I often do one where I bring in things from nature and they have animals that they make a habitat for. Someone gave us useful Doris project is a sculpture with throwaway recycled items that then are painted after they glue them on. You can see there's an assortment of those. Very nice. So looking around at our supplies, we have a lot to work with, but we also, like I said, try to minimize purchasing new things and trying to find things that we can reuse, recycle, and all that. I think that's my main points about the program room. I just also want to say that since I've been at the museum for a very long time, I just want to encourage people to come and spend time here, because it is such an experience to have the children grow up here. My grandchildren have been here, and it's dear to their heart. And this is an opportunity to do things that you can't always get in a classroom. I felt like I could really do hands-on learning here with setting up exhibits in the program room, and a lot of the teachers in the larger class sizes don't really have that that time and space. So it's just it's a wonderful place, and we'd love to have everybody come and visit us.
Thank you, Sue. Let's get a update on the donation. Welcome back. It's Lisa Olson, your Santa Cruz Children's Discovery Museum board president. And so now that you've had an introduction and a warm welcome to our board members and a little bit of view of a couple of our exhibits, I do want to share with you a little bit more in depth of what our sole purpose of tonight is. I don't want to say sole purpose, because obviously meeting our board members is crucial, but really what we're here for tonight is about raising funds. And I want to be really serious when I say this, because every dollar that we collect tonight is really truly going to the investment that we put back into the exhibits that make this museum really a great place for your children to continue to come to week in and week out to visit. So there are a number of ways that you can contribute. So earlier on when I made my introduction, if you were on at 6:45 sharp, thank you very much. But I did kind of go over our major donor wall, which is the first thing that you see when you come into the museum. So I do want to just acknowledge a couple of folks on here. For example, the Ward family, the city of Capitola, Patricia and Hayes Knoll, more importantly, Patrice and Bob Keats, the Harper Keats, Max Henson, and there's numerous, honestly, numerous donors that make this possible. But ultimately, what our ask is of you tonight is for your financial donation. 100% of your donation is 100% deductible, and there's no amount that is too small or too big for us to accept. There's a number of ways for you guys to donate tonight. So I just want to run through that with you to make sure that it's clear, because I know if you're anything like me, social media doesn't come natural to you. You can go to our website at Santa Cruz Museum of Discovery, and there is a donation button on the actual website. You can go to our Facebook page, which will also lead you to a donation button. You can donate when you come into the museum directly. So that being said, we're going to direct you here to the wall to kind of showcase some of the levels that some of the donation levels that you can be at if they are of interest to you or the organization that you belong to.
My name is Jeanette, and I work behind the scenes at the Museum of Discovery, the Santa Cruz Children's Museum of Discovery. I work marketing and fundraising. I'm very excited about our Live-a-Thon here, and that you all are tuning in, and thank you. So far, we've raised a couple $100 through Facebook. We just popped on a donate now button, so if you're watching live, yes, that's good news.
Money!
Yeah,
That's right.
There's a lot of board members dancing around behind
Money
the
for your kids.
So go ahead and click the button on Facebook if you don't want to look through Facebook. You're always welcome to visit our website at sccmod.org/donate. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. There's a lot of information going on here, so I want to talk just briefly about what this all is. It's our phone number, so that you may book birthday parties for your little one. Bet you didn't know we did birthday parties. We do a whole bunch of different packages. We have add-ons. We have different features, different themes. And we really customize it to your child, what your child would like for their birthday. And that is, if you go to our website, sccmod.org/birthday-parties, with plural, I believe. Yes, plural. And you can send in a request. You can also call. The phone number is 888-424-8035. We're almost always here to answer those requests. In addition to birthday parties, which are really fun here, we also offer school practitioners, coordinators, field trips as well. And those are very popular with the youngsters. Again, if you'd like to fill out a request and learn a little bit more, read some content and see some photos, you can go to our website, sccmod.org/field trips with an S. Yep. And it's all right here. And then notice how I popped in that link to donate just one more time. It's sccmod.org/donate. We also have a few different donate buttons on our website, and now we have one on our Facebook. Yay! And that's working. So thanks for donating. I also added some hashtags, because I'm the person that's probably coordinating with you and answering your questions via social media. If you have those questions, feel free. I have my laptop open right here, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. If you're feeling like you would like to tag us, we go by hashtag SCCMod, hashtag Team SCCMod, which would be appropriate for this evening. And I got another one down here, hashtag Santa Cruz Children's Museum, because that's us. I also wanted to introduce a couple items at the store. So are you guys ready? Follow me over to the store? Yeah? Okay. I guess no one's going to be responding back, so stop asking.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Here we go. All right. So I wanted to show everybody my personal favorite item, and I know that we're closing out summer here in Santa Cruz, so why not carry on the fun with the tropical terrarium. This is a really, really great product. A lot of fun, craft, family, quality time you can spend with your children, making a really cool looking terrarium. And I have one myself. That's why I love this product. My children love this, but I love that. My children really like the food. So this has been a popular one in our house, the pita pockets. We also, a couple months ago, but I believe sold out of the store here, got the hamburger and grill barbecue set. Very, very fun in our house. And my little one is getting to explore his chef side, which is really fun. And yes, so this is a great product as well, very affordable. That's another thing about this store. Last but not least, I wanted to show really popular, who hasn't used sidewalk chalk, or at least hasn't had it. I know, again, we're winding down summer, but Santa Cruz has that extended summer, so we have ample time before the rain sets in. We've got 4 different sidewalk chalks here, but what makes this unique and special is that it's got the little balls that the kids can hold onto. Sorry, I'm distracting. And it's actually only $5, which means it's the same price as you get at the Dollar Tree or a different store. But it's going to a good nonprofit, and we could always use that extra love. So those are my items I wanted to feature. However, should we pan the store and kind of take a look at it? We've got all kinds of other things as well. Little ones tend to be over here. We have our summer stack over here. Oh, kinetic sand. I know I was only going to talk about 3 items. I'm going to talk about another one. Kinetic sand. This is a favorite. Has your child come into the museum and played with kinetic sand? Probably. Well, you can take some home. It's amazing. It's the exact same stuff. This is awesome. My kids, again, have this as well. So really fun. Again, you don't have to say goodbye to summer with kinetic sand, and you're helping a good cause. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm Jim Fellich, and I'm sitting here in front of the air wall. The air wall is one of the oldest, the original exhibit that was built for MAUD. Back in, 4.5 years ago, the original founders, Bob Keat is one of the original founders, and Bob and I built this air wall. And it has, over the years, entertained thousands of children. And let me give you a quick demonstration. We have a brightly colored piece of fabric, and we put it in here. Now you'll notice that the air is blowing out because the air is coming down through here. So you have to wad this up. You put it in like that, and then off it goes. Yeah, there it goes. I've watched this a million times and I love it. And here it comes.
Yay!
And so children do this, and they enjoy it just to watch the fun of what's going on. Plus they kind of learn a little physical stuff about sticking the thing in and dealing with the air. But after a while they go, why does it do that? How does it move through there? And so then they learn about air pressure and the things that air can do. We have other exhibits in the museum as well that work with air. We have the Bernoulli box. We have a bunch of things. So this is the air wall, and thank you very much.
Do it again, Jim. One more time.
One more time.
One more time.
There it goes.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You caught me while I was working on a project. Normally when I'm here, I'm here with my toddlers, so I don't get a lot of free play. I think first, I just want to state that, just like many of the other exhibits that you're being shown tonight, was built by the founder's partner, Bob Key. And the trains here at Mod are really sort of like the sweet spot when it comes to things that kids are attracted to and some of the potential that are in them. One of the things that, you notice in the way that the trains are set up is that they very much point to one of the sort of intentional things that the mod looks to do, is that it's to connect kids with the environment that we have here, this really rich environment of our local community, meaning our railroads, our agricultural area, and also the redwoods, et cetera. And all of these things are potential for kids to learn when they're here at the train. One of the interesting things here that I mentioned, my toddler, who I'm often here with, we spend quite a bit of time here, and he usually delegates roles to me that I should play. And that's one of the things that kids get an opportunity to learn is the different role that people are to play in certain environments. From the conductor to the construction people. And in this way, some socio-dramatic play is definitely evident here. One of the other things is that learning language for kids, it often happens by listening and being around other kids when they're observing them playing. And so a lot of the time the acquisition that happens is just a very natural thing from learning to point out the correct sort of train, whether it's the caboose or whether it's the steam engine. And again, these things are just very kind of naturally occurring here when they're at play. The trains are set up to where they're not just a blank slate, right? Where that's often too hard for kids to sort of get engaged in. So there's some structure here and some scaffolding in a way in which there's still a lot of potential for open-ended play. One example would be here. Now, most of us as adults, we've been conditioned to veer away from unfinished railroads. But this railroad in particular is set up so that kids can actually take something and actually start something new and build something different. And so this, again, leaves a lot of different opportunities for kids to use their imagination. One of the things here is that, there's so many different items to play with, and some are more prized than others. I'm sure if any of us have played some games, we know we have our favorite pieces. And so it provides an opportunity for kids to also learn how to share and to deal in conflict resolution, how to negotiate different times of playing with different things. And so, again, this is really sort of the sweet spot for the museum, and that there's so much to be taken away from the experience here. This is not something that just kids would do alone. Again, kids often benefit from adult support here as well. And so if you're here, make sure you get down here and play with your kids.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason Horner, and I'm going to introduce you to the Toddler Garden that's funded by the Packard Foundation. But first, I'm going to take my shoes off. So there's a nice little cubby for us to put our shoes right in there. The thing I love about this exhibit is the age limitation. So both of my girls are under 3, so this is one of their favorite spots. I have a 1-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, and they absolutely love it. To me, it just looks magical in this space. There's the canopy that you can see above. There's beautiful paintings on the wall. And I love all the different interactions that I see my girls have with other kids in this space. So, in particular, I love all the major motor functions that you can have in this space, so I'll demonstrate a couple for you. You can crawl through things. You can crawl under things. One thing you do have to be careful with on this is if you're wearing socks, the little ones will slide. So make sure they take off their socks before going down that little guy. My oldest, Tegan, loves getting on this boat, and for me, this is a great space. I'm an athlete, and for them to learn things like balance and spatial awareness and self-awareness with their body, this is a great tool. Another reason I like this is because I noticed one of the kids actually flip it over, and then it becomes stairs. So a lot of the different things and exhibits in this space will change. Similar over here. So You can work on your balance, or the little ones, McKenna in particular, my youngest, will actually crawl underneath that. So I love this space for that reason. There's a lot of different parts to it. There's a sound wall. You can make a bunch of different sounds here. And then this guy with the balls. And then they chase them down. So there's a lot of physical play in this room. The last reason I love this space is that typically we end our day at the museum in this room. So we'll be in this room for 15, 20 minutes, sometimes a half an hour. Kind of tires them out. And then we can come over here. It feels like a living room away from home. We sit down. I normally grab one of their favorite books. And then we cuddle on the couch. And that's it.
So guess what? Maud has a brand new exhibit going in. It's not going to be unveiled yet. We're going to wait a few seconds. So follow me. Let's do a countdown. All right, you guys ready? Be nice and tight shot here. And we start. We need Jeopardy music playing now. Ha ha ha.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
The musical stylings of Jim, everyone. Woo!
There's the don't hide, don't hide.
Give money, give money, give money, give money.
Jim likes to be behind the puppet. What can you say? Hi guys. So one of the most exciting parts of taking over a museum and running a museum is building new exhibits. It's super stimulating to imagine the ways that we can bring interesting ideas and skills to life for your children. You might have noticed that we have a corner of the museum that's closed off right now because we're working on a brand new exhibit. It's one of the biggest exhibits we've ever brought to Maud. It's an 8-foot tall playhouse that features a ton of eco-friendly aspects. So we're going to be teaching kids about solar panels, about how the sun can be a source of energy. We're going to teach them about composting, about the water cycle, about alternative ways to dry laundry, ways that you can use your home environment to recycle water. I mean, we live in a place where droughts are common, and we need to teach our children to prepare for times when water is going to be lean. We're going to have a beautiful rain tank that demonstrates how rain falls off of a roof into a gutter and can be trapped in a barrel and used to water plants in a garden. I'm very excited to bring this exhibit to you. It's going to feature some gray water. We've got some wonderful businesses, local businesses working with us to build this exhibit. We've got Alterra Solar on board, Knox Roofing, the SoCal Water District is contributing resources and expertise to make sure the content that we're bringing to you is the best content that can be found in our county describing eco-friendly stuff. We've got the plans, we've got the exhibit mapped out on the floor. It's going to be a few weeks. We're going to start building it next Tuesday. It's one of the ways that we're putting closed Tuesdays to work for our community. We're using that time and space to build and make this museum a better place for you. So I'm excited. I'm going to get my gloves on, get my hammer, and help put this eco house together, and I'm excited for you to watch it take shape. Should we go find the rest of the board? I haven't seen them. Have you seen them, Mary Beth?
I
Come on, let's
haven't
go
seen
look
them.
around the museum for them.
Where could they be?
They're not in here. Toddler room? Sometimes they're in the toddler room. They're crazy, just a bunch of big kids. No, looks like we're not in the toddler room anymore. Stage? Not on the stage, although, whoa, that thing's hopping right now, isn't it? Someone said it's spinning. No one's playing with the racetrack either. That's one of my favorites here. It's certainly one of the kids' favorites. Button chase? No. No, Jeanette's still in the store.
I'm always aware.
There's always something to be done.
We raised a couple $100 more. Thank you so much for contributing. And again, we're still going here, so keep it rolling. We also have a $500 pledge, so thank you.
Cool, guys. not the store shopping. That's too bad. The store is actually a great source of revenue. We work hard to make sure the toys that are in here are highly curated, so you don't have to think too hard about what's great for your kids to play with. I really encourage you to stuff your stockings here. When it comes to be Christmas time, come in, check out what we have. We guarantee the toys we're offering are the best of the best. Let's see if they're this way, guys.
Hey, Rihanna,
What's up, Jim?
how come there's nobody here?
Why is there nobody at the museum right now?
Yes.
Well, it's after hours. Kids aren't awake right now. It's not going to be asleep.
Okay, because I was wondering why there was nobody here.
Come on, let's check in here. Maybe they're back at the camping area. Nobody. Everything is set up nicely, but no camping. Wait, I think I hear something this way. Come on, let's go. I found them. They're at the most popular exhibit in the whole place.
Look at that.
Your constructions are probably going to fall down. Another kid is going to come along. So besides how to make the structures balance and how to build, kids are learning social interaction at this exhibit. Bring your kid here.
Let's try again.
Watch them interact with other children. You'll learn a lot about how kids and the age that they are, how that impacts their ability to cope with adversity. These guys are wacky. They love the museum. Get out of
We can play that game. What's that game?
Jenga? Seriously? I haven't seen anyone play Jenga yet. The blue blocks are fun. They're a wonderful developmental tool.
Okay, guys, we're back now.
Hi, my name is Margaret, and the exhibit here that I'm at is Kinetic Sand. It's very popular with our kids and our adults, and it's actually the favorite exhibit here. If you see, it's kind of like this solid state. You can make shapes out of them, and then if you press it turns into sand. It's really So it has this calming, distressing effect. Some of the staff have noted that if kids come in and maybe are a little upset or having difficulty engaging, this is a great exhibit for them. We also love it because it's a place where kids and adults come and interact with each other. Besides it being just so awesome, like we get that right here, seeing it, building, touching, kids, all of that. I wanted to let you know about some of the science behind it. So, our kids are constantly navigating. They're navigating their way through the world, and they're using all of their senses all day, all night. They're touching, they're hearing, they're moving, they're smelling, all of the above. And this is one of the great ways to help them learn and navigate. So, by providing opportunities for children to actively use their senses, they explore their world through sensory play. It's crucial in brain development. It helps to build nerve connections in the brain's pathways. This leads to a child's ability to complete more complex learning tasks and support cognitive growth, language development, gross motor skills, and social interactions and problem solving. Wow. So, apart from being so fun, it's also very important in our kids' development. Apart from being awesome, it's also very expensive. And it costs $2,000 a year to keep our sandbox full and clean. We have implemented a donation jar that we're very happy with, and we notice parents putting in a couple dollars if they see their child maybe dumping a handful or two on the ground. hand or their pocket or whatnot. So we've been very happy with that. But as you can see, it's a very large space, which means a lot of kids and adults can interact at the same time. And if you would like to donate, you could like definitely put your money toward just the kinetic sand. Just put a note in your donation, and it'll go straight to the kinetic sand. $100 buys 25 pounds of kinetic sand. And so, like many of our exhibits, this sandbox was conceived out of and built by the Keat family. Without them, there would be no Children's Museum of Discovery.
Boy, you can say that again.
Right?
Boy, you can say that again. Sure. Shout out to the Keats. Teresa Bob.
And Bonnie.
And Bonnie.
Thank you.
Donating today shows them that they are not alone in valuing high-quality experiences for the youngest members of our county. Please donate today and come play.
Thank you.
Hi, and thank you again for joining us here on our Live-a-Thon at the Santa Cruz Children's Museum of Discovery. So, as you all may have heard earlier, our goal for tonight was to raise $2,000, which again, as a reminder, are tax-deductible funds on your end. We are up to $900, which is almost very, very short of 50% of our goal. So, that being said, I just want to send a huge hug and level of gratitude to everyone who's donated tonight, because every dollar means so much to us. And as you've seen tonight, as our board members have walked you through the exhibits, every exhibit here really takes a dedicated team, volunteers and educational specialists to really come together and think about not only what it offers to you aesthetically, but what your children and you as an adult are going to get out of it, and how it's really going to encourage the communication and interaction between the two. So, that being said, I just wanted to highlight a couple of walls in our museum, because again, I know that a large number of our audience tonight are dedicated members here. So, if you've come into the museum in the last few months, you'll notice all these beautiful blue fish that are swimming across the museum. And what these are is, I'd say maybe 4 months ago, as we were really working towards developing various fundraisers to help support us as we transition from from a owned, Patrice Key, for many of you who may know, kind of started the museum really out of such a generous and beautiful part of her heart. And she did this, and she ultimately decided that she was ready to pass on her beautiful baby. And so Rhiannon, who you met earlier on, who will pop in now, had actually also been, she didn't mention this, but she had also been a board member from the beginning.
From before the museum was open, absolutely.
That's right. So it was just a super natural transition for the baton to be handed down to Rhiannon. So, and that being said, we kind of came together and thought of various ways to approach you, our community, in a non-invasive way that really spoke to you and the true meaning of why we wanted to be here and why we had initially started. And that was why we came up with this beautiful wall of blue fish. So the purpose of our wall is really to acknowledge individuals who want to contribute to the sustainability campaign. It's a minimum of $100, so we really were very cognizant when we came up with the minimal donation amount, because we really wanted every member of this museum and of the community to feel like they could be a part of this huge transformation in this movement if they chose to. So with a $100 annual tax-free deductible donation, you can get your name or your family's name on the wall here in the donation. So I'm just going to call out a few folks just totally randomly because I just really want to acknowledge even if it's just a handful of folks in our community who have really gone a long way to make this place be what it is today. So thank you to Hillary Malley, to Jason Horner, to Mariah Roberts, to the Falkensteins, to John Olson, to the Andersons, to the Eckers family, to Susan Barron. I'm going to go this way, if that's okay. To Sandy Proctor, to Janet Parker, oh, I see my name, to the Zero Shop, to Dana Seeger, Patricia Noel, Bonnie Keat, Sooner Crampton, Bill Joyce, Pat Horner, and honestly the list can go on. And if you have the opportunity to come in here, you'll see that these beautiful Bluefish not only create beautiful live artwork for our museum, for our children, and for you to enjoy, but truly, honestly, are our non-verbal way of saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you do every day to make it possible for us to be here. We really, honestly, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you. Shall we go show you one of the other cool things we've been doing with Packard Foundation money? They've been
Let's
so
do
generous. Come on, follow me back to the program room. Sometimes the program room is used for these open-ended art experiences aimed at the preschool age, and sometimes we transform the program room into an infant wonderland, perfectly designed for our 18-month and younger crowd. We change the theme every month, but Rose Martin here is showing us how we transform this space to really benefit our youngest visitors.
Hello, so I'm here to talk about our infant toddler workshops that happen every Friday morning at 11 o'clock, led by Katie Knight. Katie Knight comes in here and she transforms the entire program room into basically an infant toddler classroom where we have an opportunity to provide learning experiences that extend the development of the children that come to our museum. So some of the themes that we've had in the past are wings in flight, ocean and rivers, push and pull, talking about, this one is a space theme. So this particular workshop that we have set up for you here supports cognitive, physical, language, and mathematical development. We've got puzzles to introduce some spatial relationships. These puzzles down here, the rocky tips, are also magnetic, and so that's a really fun cause and effect experiment for the infants and toddlers to play with. This in here is a little ball pit we have some planets blown up, and this is really fun space to play with. This is a really great opportunity for children to activate their sensory learning and have sensory experiences, as we know that children 0 to 3 benefit the most from sensory learning experiences. So they would feel and touch and taste and smell and hear, and to be able to really interact in their worlds in a really rich way. Another thing that I love about having these workshops is it provides a sense of community for our members and for our patrons of MOD. It gives the parents a chance to interact with each other and meet with each other. The children get to interact and meet with each other in a very intimate setting. And they also have Katie Knight here to help facilitate the learning. And she's there to answer questions, talk about child development, talk to the parents about what their child is learning and exploring. Children are coming in here and they're picking up new language, they're picking up science concepts at the very basic level for infants and toddlers, but it's never too young to start learning about science. So this is one of the settings that we have up here. Over here we have a little felt board with the solar system where children can take off and attach and learn the names of the planets. Sometimes we'll have lights down in here, we'll have a projector with lights showing stars and constellations up on the ceiling. Thanks for hearing a little bit about our infant toddler workshops. They happen again at 11 a.m. on Friday mornings with Katie Knight. She's an amazing asset to our program, and I recommend you meeting her and coming in and checking out what she's got to offer.
Thank you. We're going over to the marine space, which is another exhibit that was helped with funding from outside organizations who came in to help us develop content. let's see what's happening over here in our scariest place in the museum.
Oh, hi guys, it's just me. I'm Seth. Thanks for coming. This is welcome to one of my favorite areas in the museum, the deep sea and marine protected area. You get to explore, discover, and really immerse children in an environment of a deep sea. And there's cool black lighting here for special effects. We also encourage exploring, discovering, and immersion. So we have different animals that you can find, for example, jellyfish, hypothermic vents, and then you get to explain what hypo and thermic mean to your children. So we get to expand the mind. And we even have different questions that you can ask your kids to engage in. For example, describe one of the deep sea animals in the exhibit. Do you have a favorite, and how does it make you feel? And we also have some great, cool facts about the ocean to intrigue our children about the world unknown, the deep sea, which is, I think, just a fundamental part of our environment and our local ecology. So we have facts about different creatures here. And this whole exhibit was brought to the museum through a donation through the Marine Protected area and Fit for Moms. So thank you so much for the support, and it's really great to see other small businesses helping this wonderful nonprofit to make our community better. This little map, which is really, really cool, can we zoom in on this wonderful map? It has interaction, but it's a map of our Monterey Bay area. And we can light up different marine protected areas. And what a marine protected area is basically a spot that serves and protects as a refuge for all the animals that live within those boundaries. And I feel that this is important to bring awareness to our children and to at least introduce them to what else is out there besides what we see on land. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Seth.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see the second scariest thing in the museum? Come check out the admin offices. Are you ready? Are you sure? All right.
Who's in here?
So, I don't know if you know, but we're in a mall, and that comes with some very interesting real estate options. In fact, we took over an old Abercrombie & Fitch store, which means that my office is the dressing rooms from this old clothing store. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of into it. It's one of the smaller offices I've ever had, but it's super quirky and interesting, and I love kind of building something from the materials that exist. I want to show you something else that we do at this museum, something really important to us, and that is cleanliness. We have more people coming through this museum than I realized when I started working here. I was completely blown over by the number of visitors we have. It's amazing how many people are in this museum every day. We've got hundreds of people coming through our doors. This is a definite need in this museum. And so we take cleanliness very seriously. Our staff work hard to make sure that all the little items that might be getting put in people's mouths, stuff that's being touched by kids, is all being cleaned twice a day. So we have a special space. I'm going to show you behind the scenes, the door that's normally closed. What we do in here, we work with hydrogen peroxide because that's non-toxic to kids to ensure that everything that's a moving part can be washed. Check this out. Nope, don't check it out. Come check it out over here. These are our shelves. So every day after the museum closes, staff gathers everything off the floor, brings it in here, and sterilizes it. We do this switch out twice a day. It guarantees your safety and health, and we just love to make sure that we're not contributing to wintertime colds or viruses being spread around. And that almost brings us to the end of our telethon today, right? That's the only town really memberships.
I'm right here. I like to play that trick on her.
We're mothers, so our bedtime is like 8 and it's approaching 8, right?
That's right.
We're so happy you joined us tonight.
Thank you so much. It means the world to us. Again, this is a a friendly reminder, it's never too late to make a donation to us. Our Facebook live feed will end when we close up, but you can still visit the website. If you look us up on Facebook, the donation button will still be there. Again, there's a way for you to donate when you come here to the museum live. I encourage you, consider this for when you have your kids' birthdays coming up, or really just a place for you to come and connect with other parents and other kids as a community. It's a great, phenomenal place. Thank you so much for your continued support. Again, our ultimate goal is to be here for years to come. Thank you to all of our supporters to date. And we will be back very, very soon. So,
All right, everyone say goodbye.
goodbye.
Oh, wait, hang on.
And just for all of you that are interested, we made 50% of our goal tonight. Our goal was $2,000. We made $1,000. So,
There's
again,
still time to give another $1,000.
that's right.
Send money!
And we love matches. So again, if you are part of a corporation, particularly a local corporation who matches nonprofits, send an email either to myself or to Rhiannon here at the museum, and we would love to give you additional information on how to make that happen. But again, we're here to answer all the questions that you might have. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.